Hello everybody. Well, today I'm going to switch out this zone valve here. Actually just the motor on the zone valve. So I'll show you what that amounts to. This zone valve wasn't opening, so my son had worked with these things before, so he showed me how they work and so on. Okay, this is the old zone valve, and I got to take that plate off right there and move it over and put it on the new valve. These zone valves are really quite ingenious, and it's quite a gear reduction in those things. My son was saying they have quite a torque to them, and there's just one screw holding that thing on, so I'm going to take that screw out and take the plate off. When I would turn up my thermostat, the valve would not open on that particular zone upstairs, and I wasn't getting any heat up there. And so we discovered that thing was froze up. That motor just was burnt up. And so my son said, "Yeah, you don't have to change out the whole valve. You just can change out that motor if the valve moves freely." So we took that motor out of there, and yeah, the valve moved free. So that part of it was fine. So we can get away with just replacing this motor. I've always told my son a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and in all of these trades that young people can go into today, if you go to school and have a good teacher that can teach you about all this stuff, you can make a good living at this sort of thing. But you're never too old to learn, and over the years, I've just done a lot of stuff myself, either by figuring it out myself or having somebody show me how something works, and then I go from there. So I was glad my son stopped by, and he filled me in on how this thing works. So it turns out what this motor does is when the thermostat calls for heat, it turns the power on to the motor, and that little gear on the bottom of that motor right there turns that little gear that you can see right there, and that's what opens the valve. So right there is the gear that's on the bottom of that motor. So you've got to get things lined up when you put that motor back in that housing. And this is a little spacer, and there's 3 screws that will hold this motor on there. And right there's the 2 that you can see from this side. So you've got to put the spacer in there so that it raises that up to just the right height, so that that gear on the motor matches up with the gear on the assembly down below. So I've got those spacers in. You can see there, right there's the one I just stuck in there. Used a pair of needle nose. And now we'll put those screws in. I don't screw them in all the way because I still have to put the 3rd screw in the other side of this motor. But yeah, there we go. There's 1, 2 of them. Okay, so I've got the 3rd screw in. Now I'm going to manually switch that valve open. That's the open position, and there's a spring on there that will return that valve to the closed position if it's not calling for heat. And so there, I'll do it again. I moved it over to the open position. Now when I let go, that spring returns that valve to the closed position. So there you go. I hope this video helped you. If you were in need of a little bit of coaching on how to switch out one of these motors on a zone valve, it's really not that big a deal. So if you like the video, check out the other videos on my channel, and why not subscribe and hit the like button. All right, see you next time.